Okay, so today, guys, we want to do a video about autism because we don't have one up. And when it comes to autism, here at HML, we like to get down to the root cause of the problem. And we do that by very specific neurological-based exercises, brain-based exercises, nutritional intervention, and lifestyle changes at home. So to start, there's quite a bit more information on our website, Facebook page, and now we're loading up a YouTube channel as well to learn on. To start, we'll go over Development 101. So when it comes to development, think of it like a tree. At the base of the tree, we have roots. And the roots, neurologically speaking, are what are called primitive reflexes. Primitive reflexes are these reflexes that we are born with. They even come on at the point of conception. Either way, they're supposed to be gone by the age of 1. They're motor reflexes that involve a lot of the body or the entire body. And when they don't get integrated and when they don't go away by the age of 1, they wreak havoc on the nervous system and they don't allow the brain to develop properly. So we want those gone. There's specific exercises that we do for those. Sometimes those exercises don't work, so we have to come up with a customized functional neurological plan to get rid of those reflexes for the child. The next thing to process, kind of going up at the base of the core of the tree here, is sensory processing. A child is supposed to take in all of the sight, sound, smell, touch, all of the stimuli in the environment and to be able to start processing it. Because the next thing that develops, again, these don't develop one after another, they kind of overlap, so it gets a little dicey. But going up the tree, the next thing to develop is gross motor skills. Moving their body in a big motion, utilizing big muscles, using your core, using your legs, using your shoulder girdle muscles to propel yourself. That's where the child is rolling over, crawling, walking. So if these gross motor skills don't get developed along with the good sensory processing, it's going to again wreak havoc on the child's development. Then at the top of the tree here, we have fine motor skills. When I say fine motor, we're going to kind of lump it all into what our eyes are doing, what our mouth is doing, and then what our hand-eye and even foot and eye coordination is. Each one has to develop to go up the tree. So your primitive reflexes need to integrate, your sensory processing needs to integrate, your gross motor skills need to integrate, and your fine motor skills need to integrate. And all of that has to go in line to get the best outcome that we want as parents and educators and everyone involved with the child with autism, and that is to get good cognition, social, and emotional skills. So what makes a tree beautiful are the leaves. That's what we look at when we look at trees. The leaves are the child's social, emotional, and cognitive skills, and we want that developed. However, at the underlying root cause of not having all of these skills for these children and abilities for these children is everything else that makes the leaves of the tree, which is the trunk of the tree and the roots. So what we do to get that online is we use specific sight, and kind of broken down, we use visual stimulation and ocular motor stimulation, specific eye exercises for what the child needs. Every child's different. Doing pursuits or what are called saccades or vestibulo-ocular reflexes might be different for every kid. And we want to give them specific exercises in office and at home to stimulate the weak areas of the brain, visually speaking, so that it can get developed. Because with a child with autism, it's the networks of their brain that aren't developed that we want to increase function. Going down, we want to use sound. Specific sounds, specific frequencies do different things for different areas of the brain. And there's networks in a child's brain with autism that are underdeveloped as opposed to some are overdeveloped. So we want to go after, again, the ones that are underdeveloped. Somatosensory, this is big. Your ability to feel your body is at the foundation of good somatosensory processing. I'm sorry, it's at the foundation of sensory processing. You have to be able to feel yourself to be able to have the foundation to understand what sight, sound, smell, and other senses are doing in the body. Vestibular input. This is big. Your vestibular system is your inner ear system. It's telling your brain where your head and body is in space. And we're going to use that system to, again, go after the underdeveloped networks. Proprioception is big. This is unconscious bodily awareness. So this is the big input into the brain, telling the brain where the rest of the body is. And then motor. Motor is huge. All of these actions here are motor driven. Motor function builds the brain. We want to make that child move. And we're going to make them move in very specific motions to stimulate the weak areas of the brain. Then we get all of that lumped in, design the plan, get the underactive networks activated, combine it with nutrition, both with diet and supplements. And it can get pretty hairy at times with children with autism. Again, every child's plan is different. Some children do really good with supplements, some don't. Some do very, very good with dietary changes. Some it's not at all. Sometimes nutrition can't even get done because the child, unfortunately, could be too dysfunctional to even take in a nutritional supplement or to make a dietary change. So again, the plan will be designed for every kid. And then again, we do lifestyle changes. We like to know what's going on at home, what the child does in their free time, what they do with time to be productive and learn. We want to know what's going on at school, what their IEP is like, if there's any input we can do there. And then with any sort of recreation time, any other therapies that they might do, things that the child does to, again, either have fun or to gain further function. If there's any input that we can give to those other therapists or providers, we want to do that. So this is Autism 101, and hope you guys got anything out of it.